John Part 3, this article, still in this article. It says roughly 14% of the U.S. households reported food insecurity on average between January and October, up to 12.5% in 2024, according to the latest data from Purdue's Center for Food Demand Analysis and Sustainability. And so, the food insecurity is rising here in America, is what they're saying. From their statistics in 2024, it was up to 14%. 14%. Well, it doesn't say up to, but it says roughly 14% of households reported food insecurity between January and October. That's down near the whole year. It says while the prevalence of food insecurity around the U.S. fluctuates month to month, the overall rate has been declining since 2022, when an average of 15.4 of households were food insecure as inflation hit 40 years highs following the pandemic. So that's the point. Yes, they say even though inflation slowed a lot this year, we're not near the amounts that we were spending on food even just a couple of years ago, she said. So people ain't spending enough on food as much as a couple of years compared to a couple of years, just a couple of years ago. They're not spending as much for food compared to a couple of years ago. It says Gupta also said more Americans could struggle to put food on the tables in 2026, with an estimated 2.4 million SNAP recipients potentially losing benefits due to new work requirements in the Republican-backed Big Beautiful Tax and spending bill signed into law in July by President Trump. The Purdue researchers define food insecurity as some members of a household at times not being able to afford a balanced meal, as well as occasionally having to skip a meal or eating less for financial reasons. This is a little map here. They have a data graphic map they have here to show you share of American households that report having trouble affording food in an average month from 2022 to 2025. So 2022 was a bit higher that they're saying here. 2025 is a bit lower. That could have just been because people back then were more lazy to go outside and get what the food they wanted. But lower than that, that increases though. The food insecurity can increase though. That could just be because people are less lazy now to go outside and get the food, or they got DoorDash or something. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not as bad as over there in Southern American countries. Over there in Southern American countries, their lower class is fucking look like fucking roaches compared to the American lower class. America's lower class is like fancy compared to their shit. So actually, this is the last article I wanted to get. But this is going into a sign here. Because Yeah, I just wanted to get this. It says day will turn to night during the longest total solar eclipse of the century. Later this decade, parts of Europe, North America, Africa, and Middle East will watch daylight fade to blue-gray straight lights flicker on, and the sun's ghostly crown flare into view. Okay, this is years. This is gonna be like about a year and 7 months later than right now. Later than today, this will happen like in a year and 7 months. This says something months. This is August 2, 2027. A total solar eclipse will carve a sweeping path from the Atlantic. It's an astonishing 6 minutes 23 seconds. So, Lord willing, Lord willing, we don't have that long, but Lord willing, we don't have that long, but I mean, it's possible we see this solar eclipse happen, and hey, that's a sign from the heaven. Once again, that's a sign of the Lord, the sun turning dark, and it's also a metaphor too, to tell you that the birth and the joy of this place is going down, that this kingdom America and all its prosperity with its happy-go-lucky people here is going to go down. This is Joel 2 and verse 2. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have never ever been the like. Neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So this is what's going to happen. That's a sign of the third woe. When you go to verse 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of their land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So that's a sign that basically the third woe is coming. Jumping down to verse 30, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the solar eclipse, and the moon into blood. So you should already know that. Before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. So that's what's coming. So that's the point. Shalom and the bar. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom.